Start with an opening statement from Coach Ford.
Congrats to Charleston. Great team. They've got a great program, and they deserve to win. The irony is, I thought we deserved to win too, but that's just how it works. I saw a thing on ESPN that they just keep replaying, and it's an interview with Krzyzewski and Roy Williams are sitting at half court. I think it's the North Carolina Basketball Coach Association, and I only saw a small segment of it. But one of the questions that was asked was, "What's the difference between a great team and a championship team?" And immediately, Coach K said, "One play." And sure as heck, what it was tonight. I mean, that three spun out. We got a great look. Aaron's been so good at that and so good for us, and had such an awesome season. Somehow the ball spun out, and you end up losing in overtime. That thing spins in. We're having a whole different conversation. But sports are cruel. I feel bad for the guys. Never felt worse for a group of kids. But
if you have questions on Zoom, please use the hand raise feature, and we'll get to you. We're going to start with questions in the room. Please raise your hand, and Hunter will give you the microphone. And start in front with Nick.
Coach, just talk about the resilience of the bunch tonight. It seemed at the under 4 timeout, it was starting to get a little grim. You guys were down. Then that 9-0 run, you tied it up. You had a chance to win it there at the buzzer.
Yeah, it's hard because when you coach, you always want to go in and you talk about the character of the guys and the fight because, you want to think that that's what they are. And sometimes, really, the team isn't, but coaches will say it, and I'm guilty of that. This crew was unbelievable. They never thought we were losing. They just never thought we were losing. We got ourselves in that position because of how poorly we guarded the three to start to have. They were 6 for 9. I know they finished 7 for 12. We got them stopped in the last 3 minutes just in that second half segment. But, if they're going to be 6 for 9 from 3, they're going to beat your ass. And you're talking about a team that's got – they got 10 guys. I mean, you could grab their 10th guy. Tell me which team in the league he ain't playing for. They have such great depth, and I think we clearly ran out of gas in overtime. But for what the week was, I thought we really battled.
Questions in the room, Brian?
When you look at this as in the big picture of your second year in the league, and you're one of the last 2 teams standing, and where you were last year, 11-22, what kind of achievement is this? To almost win, 4 times in 4 days.
Yeah, there's 5 teams that are new in the league, and Sean Hilburn's done a great job trying to make the program ramp up, which we desperately needed. We were 13th in the league in budget when we came into the league, and you can't win like that. And we've tried to do things to make sure we can be competitive, and he's done a lot of heavy lifting with that. But in a 2-year stint, it's 2 years in a row. We've got the best record in the league of all 5 new schools by a mile. We've got the most wins in the tournament of all the new schools by a mile. We've won 4 in 2 years. And it's the ultimate stomach punch to lose how we lost. I mean, it couldn't feel any worse. But when if you want to talk big picture, I mean, you look at those kind of things, and I'm going to tell you, well, we got a 3.22 team GPA. We got 1,000 APR. We just played for a championship against a team that has every resource that you need. They're not mid-major. It's the Gonzaga of the East. I mean, they charter fly, they buy games, they've got the best facilities, they get huge crowds. That's a high major operation they got going, and I think our people have really tried hard to make some real gains, and we needed to do that, and it's happened, and we've outplayed everyone, and of the new teams. And then when you want to talk about the teams that were already in the league, there are some very successful programs who have never won this championship. I mean, Hofstra's been in it 20 years, and they've never played in the NCAA tournament, and Towson's been in it for a long time, and they haven't won it. I mean, you know how good those teams are. Come on, man. Nobody wants to play those guys. Great coaches, great teams, great programs. So this is a brutal league. You're talking about, I mean, is there a better one-bid league in the country? I don't know. Have at it. Start arguing and tell me who it is. But, that's not a mid-major operation they got going.
Questions in the room? John, and then Brian.
Coach, what can you say that this team learned, and how did it grow from the beginning as you went through the season and now, especially through this tournament, this run you just made, coming that close to the championship, and for the guys who are going to return, how they can build on that next year?
Yeah, well, our record was a little deceiving. I mean, we played a really hard non-league schedule. We played 4 power conference teams, and when you play Nebraska and they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. That's not Nebraska of old. So you hear the name, it doesn't sound as good. So, basically, from my standpoint, we had some scheduling losses, and that just is what it is. You do that stuff because budgetary reasoning, and then you get in the league, and when you have a 14-team league with an imbalanced schedule, which it's going to be, we, according to the analytics, played the 4th hardest schedule in the league. So if we would have played the 10th hardest schedule in the league, we probably win 2 more games. And if we play 2 less Power 5 teams on the road, I mean, we're not going to win at Michigan State unless it's a really special event. James Madison pulled it off, but you don't go in there and win non-league very often. So I never look at our record. That's not, we're looking at conference finish, and we were able to have a winning record in an unbelievably strong league, and we finished 6th in the regular season. And then you go, how can you play at the end of the year? I mean, we can't play any better. We came into today 11 straight home or neutral wins. Nobody in the league had a streak like that. So I know Charleston won a pile of games, but they had gotten beat by Wilmington, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they had more than 11. Maybe they did. But, our whole thing was we felt like we were the hottest team in the league at the right time. And what a great run, and what an absolute, tough way to end it. But no one traded any of those guys.
Going to go to Zoom to Jerry and then to Brian.
Hope you can hear me.
I got you.
Can you put the only a few minutes, but can you put the run into context? I mean, no one's ever gone 4-4. No one's ever come this close to winning 4-4, and no one's done as a 7 seed in 30-odd years. This is one of the most, it's a pretty incredible run in both, from the team and league and for the league. Can you put it in context there, or is that going to take a?
Yeah, I mean, for Jerry, to be honest, from my standpoint, it's hard to summarize because all the things you said are unbelievable. Now, I'd say none of those teams had, Tyler and. I've coached other great players. I don't know I've coached better leader. So, how was that for choking him down, buddy? Great question. Yeah, Jerry, thanks. But no, I listen, I'm so proud of those guys, and they gave us everything they had. We had a shot in the air to go to the NCAA tournament. Coming from, and I respect all the teams in the country because the hardest league you're in, or the hardest league to win in, is the one you're in. But we came from a league that historically has not had net ratings or Ken Palm ratings anywhere close to this. So when you factor in where we brought the program from to now, I think there's a lot of extra meaning behind what these guys did, because we haven't been in the league. We're not a 7 seed that's grinded in the league. Like I know Delaware won it a few years ago, I believe, as a 5, and I think Drexel was close to that, 6. So there's been lower seeds win it, but there are teams that have 4 years of recruiting classes in this league. And, for us to only have 2 years of really trying to identify guys, and it clicked for us. And we did everything right and played our best at the end of the year, and it just, wasn't quite, we're 1 play away.
Anything else? Brian, last one.
A lot of your best guys are grad students, so are you, in essence, have to start over a lot for next year? And the other thing was, is there any chance you'll get anything to one of the lower tournaments going forward?
Yeah, we're going to need to figure out. I'm very confident that we would get invited. We got to, make sure where the guys are and where the administration would be with that decision. But I'm 100% sure we'd be able to play. We got some guys that are hurt, and I know this isn't the question you asked, but D. Knowles got a knee surgery scheduled. Aaron Clark's had to wear a knee brace for the last 2 days because he's got an MCL sprain. And so I don't know what their availability would look like. To the question about grad students, and we do, and they're really good players, and we're gonna miss the heck out of them as people more than players. But every team in the country's got 13 seniors. I mean, the thing is wild with the portal and the NIL stuff. I mean, what's a good freshman? That's just a guy you're probably losing. I mean, that's what it is. So you got to build a team every year. We're in a different era now where it is not. You got to have enough culture guys that you can continue to have the program look the way you want, but it's build a team. You have to build a team year after year after year. Now, the bad news is when you have kind of a really special finish like we did, and you got to replace guys, that's tough. But you also can turn it quick. I mean, you watched us last year. I mean, and I admire the fact that you kept coming back because it was hard to do. I mean, I had actually, with a couple times wouldn't have minded missing a game last year myself with injury or illness because we were hard to watch. And guys tried hard, but, trying hard's great. I try to play good golf, and they don't let me in the Masters. So you can take try and stick it in your ear. That doesn't do any good. So I think that we've got to go out and identify some guys. I like some of the guys that are here, even some guys that didn't play a ton. We're confident that they're good enough. They just happen to be behind more veteran guys that we, ultimately it comes down to trust, right? You got to go in and earn minutes. And we had a lot of guys that we really liked in practice. And then you get to the game, and game pressure and game speed can be different. But we got some good pieces. But we got to reboot the thing. But I'll be having the same reboot conversation next year at this time, and so will the other 14 teams. I mean, Charleston's got some resources to hang on to some guys, and that's really the key, right? You got to retain the all conference caliber players, but. There's going to be a lot of movement. I don't even want to know. I mean, how many kids will end up in the portal, but we'll figure it out. That's our job.
Thanks, Gino.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Miles. Appreciate you. All right, appreciate you guys. Safe travels. Going back. Thanks for coming down.